Davidson, Catherine Catherine, Davidson Davidson, detective with the Calgary Police Service. Today I'm here to speak about a fraud which was through the Kijiji website. The Calgary Police Service has arrested and charged a man in connection with an online fraud investigation. Between July 2012 and January 2013, it is alleged that a man posed as both a realtor and a ticket agent to take advantage of members of the public renting property or looking to buy items online. The suspect used sites such as Kijiji to reply to people looking to rent accommodation in the city or those looking to buy tickets to a sporting or entertainment event. It is believed that by posing as a Century 21 realtor or a ticket agent representing StubHub or Ticketmaster, the suspect was able to gain the trust of several victims and convince them he had the items they were looking for. They would then pay for the fictional items by transferring funds, by email transfers or Western Union, or by sending prepaid Visa cards or using UCash. In some cases, the suspect would convince the victims to make additional payments for fake tickets or non-existing accommodations. All communications were conducted by telephone or online email, and the suspect and the victims had actually never met face-to-face. Police have laid charges in relation to 12 separate offences. On Tuesday, February 19, 2013, Giancarlo IANDOLI, age 23, of Toronto, Ontario, was charged with 12 counts of fraud and 12 counts of theft under. It is alleged that IANDOLI used various aliases, including Carlos Keppinger, Franco Scavuzzo, Chris Werner, and Justin or Tristan Rizzo. He has been released on bail, and his next court appearance is scheduled for Thursday, March 14, 2013, in Calgary. Do you have any questions?
Is there a monetary amount that he possibly, billed to people out of? Is there a total?
Of these 12 files specifically that I just spoke with, it's approximately 20 to 25,000.
Talk about 12 separate incidents. Does that mean 12 individual victims?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And are they are they all over the place then, or?
This was a Calgary police investigation, so these victims are specific to Calgary.
So how did you catch him?
It was a pretty lengthy investigation that focused on, the way he communicated with the victims and how he actually received the money. So that investigation focused on those things, and that's how we were able to gain his identification.
Did any of these victims have something in common? Was it like an age, sort of elderly victimization, or was it all across, or just if you could talk about their unsuspecting?
Yeah. I would say the common thing between the victims would have been, the urgency for the item that they needed. Either they were really eager to go to a certain concert, or they specifically needed a rental sooner than later.
Do you believe that this person was living in Calgary at the time or running this operation out of Toronto?
I do believe that he was more focused in Toronto, that this is an internet fraud, and that's how the victims came out of Calgary for this specific investigation.
Sorry. So obviously he's in Toronto, these victims in Calgary. Was he targeting people all over Canada?
There are other investigations throughout Canada, but I can't speak to those.
What have you learned from this investigation? What's going on with fraud these days in terms of what frauders are trying to do to people?
Well, specific to this investigation, I think he targeted on people that had an urgency to get something, and took the control out of the sale from that victim. So he would control it completely, when things were paid, how they were paid, and when the victims would feel uncomfortable about this, He just pushed it quickly, so they didn't have time to think or really back out of it at that time.
Do these people who were victimized have any hope of getting their money back?
Sorry?
Do these people who were victimized have any hope of getting their money back?
Well, these, I guess, not through the criminal aspect
Right.
of getting the money back from him. I would believe that would probably have to be some kind of civil.
Okay, so they would have to do that after the fact and sue. Yeah. But this money's gone, basically.
The money is gone. Yeah.
Is there any precautionary tale we can get out of this for people looking to buy things on the internet?
Again, try to know who's selling something to you. Obviously, meeting face to face, seeing the actual item before purchasing or sending money. Again, if you can pay cash, that is probably the best way. And again, just meeting face to face with this person and keeping control of it yourself. Don't let the person on the other end control the sale.
Can you talk about some of the events or accommodations that he was offering specifically?
Not specifically. I think often he made things somewhat general, or if it was a certain concert, it was just a concert that was known to everybody at that time. So it was just something that people wanted at that time. He did kind of have some details about an apartment, but again, it wasn't something really out of the ordinary.
Are you going is there any work to be done with Kijiji to partner up against fraud?
They do have a lot of features in place. You can actually go online, and they do have sections in there how to report to them if you believe it was a fraud. They also have kind of a section in there that states examples of what something that looks like a fraudulent transaction to be aware of.
Did he make the victims think that he was in Calgary and just couldn't meet up for whatever reason? Or did they know he was in Toronto?
Yeah, that's difficult to answer that because he had several different excuses that he would use of why he couldn't meet up face to face.
Is he, sorry, I know we can't really talk to this, but known with all his aliases, known to police in any other way? Or can you talk to us about his aliases and how they might help him?
Well, I can't talk about him personally and his personal records, if there are some. But the aliases, again, I don't think it's uncommon for someone who's committing a fraud to use several different names. So yeah, he did have several aliases.
And he was working by himself?
At this point for this investigation, there's only one person that was under investigation for that.
Do you know about how long, he had been doing this? If there's investigations all over Canada, obviously he's not new to the game, so how long has he been involved in this?
That I can't answer that, how long he's been allegedly doing this crime, but this investigation is only from July to January of 2012 to 13.
And how was CPS first alerted that there might be some local victims?
Sorry?
How did you learn about some local victims? Was it instant?
No, victims actually reported these to the police, and due to similarities of each offense, that's how they were brought together.
In terms of the actual events and properties, are some of them not existent? Or were they all actual properties and then he was just claiming that he had a space that he actually did? Or did it just not exist at all?
Well, the details he would provide, I believe, were fictitious about the apartments, like location and things like that. But the concerts were legitimate concerts because they were known to people at that time. However, I do not believe he ever had access to these tickets or rental.
Do you think there's more Calgary victims?
I believe there could be more victims. However, that's details of the investigation.
Okay.